Metal will go down in history not only for having endless subgenres and spin-offs, but for the continuing evolution of the genre. Metal has its own ecosystem, and enclosed as it may be, the genre has evolved because it's not often that bands seek out inspiration outside of metal. We will try to enlist a definitive list of the most influential bands with special attention to their best albums. Stay until the end to find out, and please subscribe if you already haven't. In 1982, Iron Maiden recorded their first album with then-unknown Bruce Dickinson as vocalist, and because of its immense popularity, the Beast would take over the world ever since. The number of the Beast topped the charts worldwide in a consistent fashion, from being number 1 in the UK all the way to being number 33 in the United States. The number of the Beast left its mark early on in heavy metal history, but at first, people felt skeptical about Bruce Dickinson's abilities. On top of that, the band received all types of negative press, especially in the United States. Conservative groups were completely against their music, organizing burnings of the band's albums, and all sorts of things like boycotts and demonstrations. In an interview, Steve Harris stated, "It was mad. They completely got the wrong end of the stick. They obviously hadn't read the lyrics. They just wanted to believe all that rubbish about us being Satanists." The number of the Beast included songs which Iron Maiden still plays today. Hallowed Be Thy Name has remained in the set list ever since, and Run to the Hills is perhaps one of their most popular tracks, detailing the invasions from both Europe and the Americans, told through the lenses of the soldiers. By 1980, there was a rock and roll band that would forever change the course of heavy metal. People would soon embrace the genre as much more than just music. Living Fast and By Your Rules as part of the band's philosophy made Lemmy Kilmister, Filthy Animal, and Fast Eddie Clarke have an important place in the genre's history. Ace of Spades effectively passed the torch to the future generation of metalheads, where a new crowd would embrace a new style altogether. Ace of Spades refers to the hand that killed Wild Bill Hancock, an American sheriff who lost his life during a game of poker. Aces and 8 was the hand that got him shot. The track order on the Mercury Records vinyl edition is completely different, which many fans believe is a better representation of the album as a whole. Sadly, after Lemmy died of cancer in December of 2013, Ace of Spades reappeared in the UK charts, and this time it would be at number 13, 2 numbers above the original position. Celtic Frost and Slayer were instrumental in the development of extreme metal, and eventually Venom would define its core for almost every band to come, from speed to death metal all the way to black metal. Welcome to Hell was the band's debut album, which mainly consisted of demo tapes. However, in 1982, black metal by Venom would instantly leave a legacy in extreme metal. Using satanic imagery and references, according to Venom's bassist and main vocalist, Conrad Kronos Lant, was only the band's attempt at provoking their audiences. In the same way a horror movie would try to instill fear or evoke any type of shock terror. The band has met with harsh criticism by people who didn't get this type of art. Phil Anselmo talked about his admiration for the band's legacy in an interview with Music Radar, saying, "I first bought the album for the cover alone, but the music and words got me. I'd never heard a band sing about Satanism in such a pure and direct way. There's nothing tricky about what they do, and that's why they're great. They nail it." The thrash metal innovators of Metallica were influenced by Venom, Motorhead, and Iron Maiden, and their debut album had opened the doors to a long-lasting career in heavy metal, filled with thrashing energy. 1986 would see the band achieve global acclaim after Master of Puppets redefined a sound so heavy that it would impact both the mainstream and the underground masses. The recording of Master of Puppets took place in Denmark after the band had already worked on a few songs back in California. And despite their reputation being heavy drinkers, the band remained sober during the whole process, and according to Kirk Hammett, it represented a time where the band really learned how to work well together. The songs Battery, Master of Puppets, Disposable Heroes, and Damage Inc. are just some examples of how the band was able to produce their heaviest sound to date. Without a doubt, metal changed in the 80s for the better. What are your thoughts? Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe for more sick content. Peace out, Metalheads.